a song about the tragedies of life. You know.
Know anything about tragedy?
All right. Dig that, huh? Yeah, because it's like my last trip here, too, you know? I ain't coming back to this town for nothing. My kids live out here, I take a bus, see you in Syracuse. If he apologizes, they were going to go easy on him.
If they don't, they're going to give him hell.
Right, and Peter Newfield was saying, let's give him hell anyway. And I'm saying, yeah, let's give his ass.
Yeah. Hey, Bill. Hey, how are you? Good.
In court, Jim Vargason agreed to drop all charges against Roy Brown. In regard to the 15 years Roy spent in prison, Vargason said, "I can honestly say I regret that very much."
I probably have more evidence now to indict and try Barry Bench if he were alive than Roy Brown. There's no question about it. So from a practical standpoint, you draw certain logical conclusions from it, which is it's very likely that the murderer is somebody other than Roy Brown. And if somebody wants to then say, does that mean he's innocent? Well, in the eyes of the law, yes.
The deep, dark woods of upstate New York are full of ghost stories. For more than 300 years, the stories have been told around campfires, in taverns, and around kitchen tables. From one generation to the next, these are just some of the stories that have been giving upstate New Yorkers the chills. Our first story begins with a 60-year-old unsolved mystery that literally shook the city of Syracuse to its foundation.
Today, Split Rock Quarry is a secluded spot known for its hiking and biking trails. It's a place to get away from the traffic and bustle of nearby Syracuse. But in the early 1900s, this spot was one of the busiest in the area. It was home to one of the largest TNT plants in the country. Chemists, engineers, and laborers worked around the clock, surrounded by some of the most dangerous chemicals and explosive compounds imaginable at the time.
It was a thing that everybody in this county knew about,
but nobody else outside the county really understood what was going on up here. And they were into TNT, picric acid, which were high explosives. They were into making other things, probably poison gas. A lot of people will tell you that they come up here and they'll see ghosts that are different colors because the people that worked up here, the acids would change their skin color. White people were yellow, black people were green. So when they see these ghosts up on the ledge, supposedly they are these colors.
Neighbors near the quarry tell stories of strange noises late at night and sights they can't explain. Others tell of sudden chills or cold spots on warm summer nights.
One night I came up here on July 2nd, anniversary of the explosion, and I parked down by Tripoli landfill, and I saw a light coming toward me. I figured it was somebody walking a dog. I just want to make sure. And he came up rather fast, and I thought that was kind of odd, but down by Tripoli there aren't any landmarks, so I wasn't too sure if he was just walking fast or it was just my imagination. But as the light approached the fence, it was blinding me. I put my hand up to shield myself from it, and I was about to say hi, then the light went off and nobody was there, and there was no place to hide.
There definitely there's a sense of something here. Somebody that is sensitive to that sort of activity does feel that there's something up here. Of course, there's 50 souls up here.
Our next destination may have the honor of being the most haunted house in all of upstate New York. Beardsley Castle has been studied by psychics, scientists, and generations of curious visitors. Come along as we take a look inside.
The castle was built in 1860 by Augustus Beardsley, one of the area's most distinguished residents. A judge who had also served in the state legislature, Beardsley built his Irish-inspired castle on land that his family had been developing for 60 years. The manor was the pride of the region and was known for its beauty and as the home of one of the region's finest families. All that changed in 1919 as a mysterious fire burned the building down to the stone walls. The events that led to the fire are still unknown.
What's interesting is the Beardsleys carried no insurance for the initial fire because this was sort of treated like a Titanic kind of building. It couldn't burn. And so in 1919, it was essentially burned completely. And so all the original woodwork interior was gutted. And this was while they were on vacation.
The legends and stories that have circulated since the first fire are too numerous to recount in their entirety. For more than 50 years, Beardsley Castle has been the first place many upstate residents think of when haunted houses are mentioned. Dozens of stories have been told, some so old the origins aren't even known. Stories include mysterious lights seen on Route 5, some of them flying directly into oncoming cars. Other stories center around possible ghosts of Native Americans killed during the French and Indian Wars. Others reported seeing a shadowy man they believed to be the ghost of either Augustus or Guy Beardsley carrying a lantern through the woods. Inside the castle, the staff have reported everything from overturned chairs, doors slamming, flying silverware, and a sudden overwhelming scream coming from different parts of the castle. On other late nights, staff have heard footsteps on empty floors, sudden whispers in their ears, and voices coming from floors closed off to the public.
There's a lot of people who have said that there's a woman who haunts the place, and she's here not so much to haunt it, but because she loves the property. And we've had a number of psychics who've identified the spirit here to be a woman and described how she might look, and possibly could have been in a wedding dress or a white dress or a white shirt.
One sighting involved seeing a woman walking through the air on stairs that weren't there. Stairs that may have been there from a previous build of the castle.